My name is Norm Ransom. I was born in Philadelphia, PA, at University of Pennsylvania Hospital, July 17th of 1969.
And what part of Philadelphia will you be sharing about?
I'm gonna share about North Central Philadelphia, the Richard Allen projects, housing projects.
And what one word phrase you feel best captures that neighborhood?
Rough.
Give me details about this community and why you would say rough.
Grew up there, and moved there at the age of 4. It's a real tight knit community, and when I say tight knit, I meant if you weren't from there, you weren't coming in there. Not tight knit as far as they looked out for each other, because they didn't. One would rob the other. It was a pretty rough neighborhood, but a lot of open market drug sales there, and I've seen a lot of crime growing up there. I've seen someone get stabbed there. I've seen a lady get her throat slit right in front of me. Yeah, it's pretty rough. I've seen a dead body exhumed from a car when I was a kid, probably about 7 years old. It's a pretty rough neighborhood, pretty rough.
Have you been in a neighborhood recently and have you seen any changes, good or bad, in this neighborhood?
So I've been there. Last time I was there probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and all of the most of the single home buildings are taken down now, and they made it all into townhouses. So it looks way nicer. But I heard a lot of the same tenants are still in there, but they made it a little different now.
So, based on that, do you think that the environment is still the same or has it gotten a little bit better because perhaps the neighborhood looks a little better?
Definitely gotten a little better. I mean, what do they call that? What do they call it?
Gentrification?
Gentrification. It's definitely gentrification in the area now. So you can tell it's definitely, you see more. We had one white family in there when I was growing up in there, one, and he just act like the whole family, sons and daughters, all acted they were black. That was the only white guy that was allowed in there. Anybody else was in there to buy drugs, and they better just get their drugs and move on out. But when I went around there, you see a lot more white families in that area. So I'll let you know that gentrification is definitely going on.
Growing up in that community, that neighborhood, and seeing those violent images, how do you think that affected you as an adult?
So I feel it benefited me because it's not too much stuff that will scare me now growing up. I think it toughened me, which I think you need that. You kind of need that kind of tough exterior a little bit in dealing with a lot of people in today's society. So I think it was a plus.
And were you familiar with Richard Allen when you lived in the projects? Did you know about his legacy or who he was?
So I heard about him in school. They would talk about it since the school I went to was actually in Richard. The elementary was in Richard Allen Project. So yeah, I heard about Richard Allen. We knew who he was. I don't think he knew what was going on in the housing project. Yes.
Do you have a favorite Philadelphia neighborhood, place, person, or event that no longer exists?
That no longer exists. I would say probably Charles Bowser. He was one of the first black men to run for mayor in Philadelphia. And he ran twice, 1975, and then he ran again in 1979. And during the 1979 campaign, he ran in the Democratic Party. And me being a young kid that was in 6th grade at the time, we were part of the team that had like Charles Bowser posters and all. And we would run around after school screaming on the street corners with posters, vote for Charles Bowser, vote for Charles Bowser. But it gave us kind of like an empowerment to know that, hey, this black man is running for mayor of Philadelphia. Even though we didn't win, it was just it was a good experience, and I'll never forget that name just because of what we had to do, what we did for him trying to run.
If there was one thing that you would want to share with your children about your experience growing up in Philadelphia, what do you think that would be?
Persistence, building character. Don't go at night. That's about it.
Thank you.
That was